5 preps you should be getting now. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. These are just 5, not in any order, and these 5 come along from one aspect of preparedness, not all of them. Before I get into the video, please let me remember this time to ask you to please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Share the videos, comment below, maybe even hit that little heart with thanks in it and donate to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. I want to continue doing the work here, reaching more people and empowering more people. So that definitely helps. And check us out on Patreon. Links in the description below. It's $1 a month. Hundreds and hundreds of exclusive content there. You know, come over there and join Team AP. Okay, so before I get into things, let me talk about the direction I'm going down, the path I'm going down. In preparedness, we talk a lot about stacking food. Stack it to the rafters, beans, rice, corn, wheat, barley, all these kind of things. Lentils, water, canned goods, freeze-dried foods, dehydrated foods, a lot of stuff. We also talk about gardening, raising our own animals, being more self-sufficient, which is very important. All these things are part of preparedness. All these things are probably pretty much equally important. Skills are equally important. Knowing how to can, knowing how to garden, knowing how to hunt, fish, trap, snare, all the things. Medical stuff, there's a lot of stuff. Tactical stuff. So speaking of that, I normally talk about tactical and security stuff on Patreon, but here I'm going to talk about it a little bit today. So that's the path I'm going down, the security side of things, the defensive side of things. Because I believe that things are going to get worse in this nation, a lot worse, as far as protecting what you have, defending yourself from violence and those that wish to do harm, and or are just bad guys, criminals, stuff like that. So let's get into some of the things. First would be getting yourself squared away with items that you may not be able to put in place now because of the current situation. We're in a within rule of law situation. It's not total chaos. It's not total, Mad Max out there right now. So, things that will help you secure your perimeter. If you can put up fencing now, great. But the kind of fencing we can put up now is a little bit different than what you want to put up in a post-apocalyptic world, right? We can put up wood fences now. We can put up chain link fences. We can put up, depending on your area, if you're rural enough, maybe barbed wire fences. There's a lot of different fencing styles that you can use. But what I'm getting at is the real, the security aspect of fencing. Fencing does provide concealment. It does provide privacy. It adds a little bit of a delay feature, what is a delay feature? I talk about it on Patreon. There's delay features and there's denial features. A denial feature would be, actually, this is an example of a denial feature behind me. You're thinking blackberries. That's not a denial feature. That's a delay feature. Well, not when they're, 6 foot tall and go for about, they're about 20, 30 feet deep. I'll tell you what, my time in the military, I know that the best avenue of approach to a target is the least likely avenue of approach. It is the most difficult to get through. It is the most difficult to move through, because then you won't be expected to be coming from that direction, right? Yes. But I'll tell you what, I have been through a lot of stuff. I will not crawl through 20 feet of blackberries. Pretty much impossible. So that is a denial feature. A delay feature, however, is a fence. They are going to get over it, under it, through it, whatever. But it's part of a proper security and defense plan. Having these features in place as much as possible now will do you well, because then you won't have to work on it in an event. when time is of the essence. But what am I talking about mainly? Okay, I've kind of gone around laying the groundwork for what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is one of the things that I think it would be very advantageous for you to have stockpiled now would be barbed wire and or razor wire. Preferably both, because they both they offer unique different solutions for problems. You can string up barbed wire along the outside or inside or both or top of an existing fence if you have the stuff to install it with on hand, meaning the posts, the tighteners, stretchers, all that kind of stuff, the attachment points, all those little things, as well as the barbed wire and the razor wire itself. Razor wire comes in coils. Well, barbed wire does too, but you straighten it out. You can straighten out razor wire, but it's more effective just leave it coiled. You've seen that. You can get those outriggers that go like this, whichever direction you want. Okay, so say here's your fence. Here's your property. You want the outrigger going this direction, not this direction, unless you have both. Then you want both. You can do outriggers with barbed wire running along both sides, and then you can coil the razor wire in the middle. That is the most effective way to go about doing that. So I recommend you guys having this stuff on hand to put up fencing or to improve your existing fencing with barbed wire, razor wire, stuff like that. You can research it. You can even buy it on Amazon. Razor wire, barbed wire, and all the stuff you need is on Amazon or from feed stores, you know, Tractor Supply store, stuff like that. Okay, so that's one of the items. Another thing would be motion sensors. You know, like they say, driveway sensors. And not the kind that work off of Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi comes through where? Through your phone lines. And or requires power. All somebody has to do is cut the power to your house, or an EMP happens, and bam, your system doesn't work at all. So what I recommend are the standalone motion detectors that detect motion, but then they transmit via ham radio frequencies to a receiver in your house or wherever you are, allowing you to know that there is a breach, potential breach of your security. It could be a deer, it could be a bear, it could be a moose, it could be an elk, depending on where you live. Or it could be a bad guy. And it's not just, you don't have to just use these as driveway sensors. I can put them up down here or out here, wherever in the tree line. You know, you could attach one, say, to like this tree. And then you could attach one to like, say, that tree. And then have it detecting in between. Have it set up properly, though, so that, you know, small animals won't set it off. But smart people will get down and crawl, you know. So there's other things. There's ground disturbance detectors that are, and or magnetic detectors for vehicles. That's another style of driveway sensor or a road sensor. And that's one thing also you could get. But some kind of system like that allows you to detect a threat coming before they're at your door. That's very important. You don't want them at your door. You want to meet them further out. Because if shooting starts and it's at your door, well, they're going to be shooting into your house, which is where your loved ones are, and where your stuff is, where your pets are, whatever. That's a worst case scenario. Worst case is if they get inside your house. You want to stop them and prevent them from getting close, further out. Now, if you're in an apartment, I get it. You can't do that. Other things are door bars and window bars. Those are other things you can get. And you can utilize those now. All my windows are barred. Now I get it, they're glass. Somebody can still bust them in and come in. Sure. Then there's plywood. Extra plywood. I know it's expensive, but to screw up, not nail, but to screw up on the inside of your windows. And or have them bolted all the way through and have 2 sheets of plywood sandwiched on the window with metal retainers so that they cannot be easily pulled or pushed in. So these are some of the things. So I'm talking about barbed wire, razor wire. I'm talking about motion sensors and or some kind of sensor that allows you to perceive a threat or to see a threat and recognize a threat further out. Talking about plywood, door and window bars. And then another one would be, this is a really more common one that people may already know about, freedom seeds, defensive tools, seed holders, your equipment to carry it with, and the training that goes along with it so that you can mount an effective defense when you need to. If you don't have any training on it, say you have one of those handheld defensive tools, and you just recently realized, hey man, I really need to go get one. So you just went out and got one. You know nothing about it. You never fired one. You never shot one. You never handled one. You weren't in the military or anything like that. You just, okay, damn, I got one. Now I'm safe. No, you're not safe. Odds are you're actually going to put more people probably at risk, including yourself, unless you're properly trained on it. You know how to properly handle one, properly store one, properly use one. There's a lot to it. Now, it's not super difficult, but it takes training and it takes practice. So if you are in that situation, or even if maybe you practice a little bit, maybe you need more. Always get more training. Always practice. In a safe condition, practice handling it. Practice presenting it. Practice sight alignment, trigger control, hand grip, all these things. Practice, 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 or you will not ever mount an effective defense of your property, defend your family, or anything like that. So those are 5 things that I think we're very advantageous to start getting ready now. Because if things really start getting ugly, these items will definitely help. So think about it. Prepare yourselves. Take care of your families. Remember, prepping is living insurance. And that we do it out of peace of mind, not out of fear. I love you guys very much. I want to empower you and uplift you. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.